Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, and thanks for stopping by and watching. So this is the 18th spray paint art video in the beginner's tutorial series, and in this one I'm going to show you how to make a planet under a planet and a planet over a planet. I'll be using the same glossy card, which is A3 in size, and the same spray paint as the previous tutorials in the series, which is Montana White. Also, if you're a new visitor to the series and interested in learning more about how to make art with spray paint, you can find the previous tutorials in the series here in the cards or in the description box below. So I hope you all enjoy watching and find this tutorial helpful, and if so, give it a thumbs up and please share with your friends and family or anyone that you think may be interested in learning this type of art. And also, if you're a new visitor to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future spray paint art videos. It'd be very much appreciated. Right then, the first thing we're going to do is a planet over planet. So for this you'll want two different lid stencils. One small one like this, and one large one like this. So now we have the lid stencils, we can go ahead and make the first two planets. So we'll get the large stencil first and place it on the sheet where you want it to go. And then with the black, spray around the lid to give you an outline of your large planet. And then take it off and get the small lid stencil and place it near the bottom inside the outline of the large planet. And then with the black, spray around it to give you an outline and then take it back off. So we'll get the large lid stencil first and place it on your sheet where you want the planet to go. So I'm going to have mine there, and we'll get the black spray and spray around it. Just a light spray will do. Then we'll take that one back off, and then we'll get the smallest lid stencil you're using, place it somewhere there inside the outline of the large one, and then we'll spray around it give you an outline of a small planet. So now we have the outlines for the first two planets, we can now add some colours and texture to them. So the colours I'm going to be using for the first planet is Night Blue, Nemo and Soap, and the second planet, the large one, I'm going to use Night Blue, Bavaria and Light Blue. And the black and white, and I'll be using magazine paper in a carrier bag to make the texture on the planets. So if you've been following the series up to now, you should have a good idea of how to make planets, but if you haven't, I'll be talking you through the process as I make the planets. So the first planet we'll be doing is this small one here. So we'll get the night blue first. We'll spray some of the darker colour here, and then I'll get Nemo, and then Soap, a bit more Night Blue. Just build the colours up, then we'll add a bit of black to this side and a bit of white here. Don't worry about going over the outline here, because we'll be covering that up when we do the next planet. So for this one I'm going to use magazine paper. So all you want to do is just give it a bit of a crunch up so you get some lines in it to make your texture on your planet. So we'll just place it on and give it a light rub, then pull it back off. You can always go back over it, give it another rub, make some more texture. You can keep doing this until you're happy with the texture you're looking for. So I like that texture, so we're going to leave it like that. So now we're going to add some highlights and shadows to the planet. So with the white, we're just going to put a highlight here on this side. So for this, all you want to do is press the cap down lightly so you get more of a mist effect and not a block of colour. So I'll just add a bit of soap over the top. So that's the highlight done, and now we'll add the shadow this side. So for that we're just going to use the black. So that's the highlight and shadow done on that planet. So now we've done the highlights and shadows on the small planet, you want to leave this to dry for a bit, about 10 or 15 minutes before placing the lid stencil on, so you can then move on to doing the large planet. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and put the lid stencil on while the paint's still wet. So we'll get the small lid stencil and place it on the painting where you want your planet to go. Just make sure it's on the inside of the outline of the large planet. So I'm going to have mine there. So now we have the lid stencil on the small planet, we can now go ahead and do the large planet. So we'll get night blue first. Just spray a bit light around this lid stencil so you get no leaking underneath. So we just fill a bit in with night blue first. And then with Bavaria. And then the light blue. And then black on this side. And then white. And I'll be using a carrier grocery bag to make the texture on this planet. So what we'll do is we'll just place it over it. And give it a light rub. And then we'll peel it back off to make your texture. So that's the texture on your large planet. Now we'll add some highlight and shadows to it. So with the white first, we'll add a highlight. Remember, just press your cap lightly. I'll just add a bit of light blue. And then a bit of white. And now the shadow part of the planet. And what we're going to do is we're going to go black about here, the shadow. So we cover around this area with black. So that's the highlights and shadows done for the second planet, the large one. So now we'll take the lid stencil off the small planet that we did. Put that to one side there. As you can see there, it's stuck a bit with the paint still being wet when I put it on. Right then, that's the first two planets done. So while that's drying, I'll move on to showing you how to make the lid stencil for the third planet, which will be the planet under planet. So the first thing you'll need is a lid stencil that is smaller than the large one you have used. So as you can see, this one I'm going to use is smaller than the large one I've used. And what I'm going to be doing is cutting part of the lid out so it can sit flush with the large lid stencil. For this part you'll be using a craft knife, so just remember to be careful and take your time when cutting things out. So to do this you want to get your large lid stencil and a pen and place a large lid on top of a medium lid, and then with a pen trace a curve of the large lid onto the medium lid and then cut the line out using a craft knife. So I'll just show you how to do that. So I'll just move this painting over here a minute. And we'll get the medium lid first and place it there. So we'll get a pen, and with the large lid we'll put it somewhere like that there to get the curve. And all we're going to do is get the pen and trace the lid curve there, the large lid. So we have a line like that. And then with the craft knife all we're going to do is cut that out where the line is. So just remember what I said, be careful when you're doing this. Right, so that's a lid cut. So then you end up with two pieces like this. This is the piece we're going to be using here. So I'll sit this out the way. Move this a minute. Just clean the lid stencil off a bit there where I've cut it. So as you can see now, we'll get the large lid stencil. And then the medium one sits flush now with the large one. So we'll put these back out of the way and bring the painting back in. So with that done, we'll go ahead and place a large lid stencil onto the painting. Remember to cover up the small planet as well with the large lid. So we'll get the large lid stencil, and just remember we're going to cover this up as well. So place a large lid on there like that. So now we have both of the planets covered up. We can now move on to adding a third planet. So get the medium lid that you've cut out and place it on the opposite side of a big planet to where the small one is, and then spray around it to give you an outline of a planet. For this planet I'm going to be using the colours green, which are Cactus, Grass Green and Viper, and also a black and white. And for the texture I'm going to use a piece of plastic bag I've cut up. It's the same process as we've used on the other two planets. So I'll just go ahead and add the third planet to the painting. So I'll get the lid, put it against the large lid stencil where you want it to go. I'll have mine there. So with the black we'll just spray around it, give you a rough outline. I'll take it back off. Then we'll add the colour, so I'll add Cactus first. Just spray it lightly round here now, so you don't get any leaking under the large lid stencil. Now we'll go Grass Green. And then Viper. a bit more cactus here. And we'll add a bit of black. And then some white. And we'll get the plastic bag that I've cut up. This, just crunch up a bit. Make a few lines in it for your texture. So and all we'll do is place it over the top. Give it a rub. And then peel it off to make your texture. So now we've got the texture, we'll add the highlight and shadows to it. So first of all, add some Viper. And then some white. Remember, just pressing the cap lightly, so you just missed it. Just add a bit of Viper on the top. And then the shadow part, the black. So just lightly round here, the lid stencil. So that's the highlight and shadows done on the planet, on the third planet. So at this point you want to leave it to dry for a bit, about 10-15 minutes before placing the lid stencil on, so the lid doesn't stick to the wet paint. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and place a stencil on while the paint is still wet. So if it does stick, you can see what I'm on about. So I'll get the medium lid stencil and place it on. So now we have the planets done and the lids in place, we can move on to adding the background. For this I'll be painting it black and adding a few mists of colour and some small stars to the background. So I'll get the black now and paint all the sheet black for the background first. So just remember, go lighter, spray it lighter around the lid stencils. So that's the black done, and now we can add some mists of colour or whatever you want to add in the background. So I think I'll just add some greens over this side. And then I think I'll add some blues here. A bit of purple, I think. And I might just add a bit over here. I get a bit of a nice blue there and just... It's up to you, like I said, whatever you put in your background. Just add a bit of green there. And you can always, if you put too much colour on, you can always go back, add a bit of black here and there. So I think I'll do for the background, the colours in it. So I'm just going to add some small stars. So what you want to do, grab the white and spray some onto your fingers there. Like that. And then what you want to do is give it a few flicks away from the painting first, and then flick the rest onto the sheet. So a couple of flicks, and then flick the rest of it paint off your fingers onto the sheet. So you can put as many stars as you want into your painting. It's up to you. So I think I'll do for the small stars. So now we have the background finished, we can now take the lids off and reveal the planets for the first time. So we'll take this one off first. Smaller one, it might be stuck because I'm putting it on with the wet paint. Just take your time and you lift it off. So that's that one, and now we'll pull a large one off. This might be stuck. I'll just get the palette knife. I might have to hold this down a bit. Yeah, it's stuck a bit because we put it on with the paint wet. So that's a large one. So as you saw then, when I was lifting the lid stencils off, the lid stencils stuck to the paint a bit. And then it leaves marks like this on your painting where it's pulled some of the paint off. Like this here on the green here. On the black of the green you can see where the lid stencils pulled some of the paint off. So that's why I say in my tutorials, let things dry before moving on to the next stage. Like with your planets, let them dry before putting your lid stencils on. And then your lids won't stick and pull any of the paint off like it's done here. So just remember, take your time, let each layer dry before moving on to the next one. So there's one last thing I'm going to do before I sign a painting, and that is to give it a coat of clear coat. I'll use this to give the painting a layer of protection, and it also adds a glossy finish to the painting. You don't have to do this part, it's up to you, to what finish you want on your painting. So to give the painting a clear coat, all you have to do is spray the clear coat from side to side and move up the painting as you spray it. So we'll get the clear coat, and all we're going to do is spray it from side to side and go up the painting. So from side to side. Now with the clear coat on, there's just one more thing to do, and that is to sign your painting and it's finished. So I'll grab the palette knife and I'm going to sign it here. So now I've signed a painting, it's finished. So I hope you enjoyed learning and found this spray paint art tutorial helpful. And if so, give it a thumbs up and please share it with your friends and family, or anyone who you think may be interested in learning this form of art. And also, if you're a new visitor to my channel and liked what you saw, then please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future spray paint art videos. It'd be very much appreciated. And also, coming up in the next video in the series, I'll be painting on a canvas to show you how some things work slightly different from painting on gloss card. So you'll need for this tutorial a canvas. I'm going to be using an A2 canvas, but if you haven't got a canvas, you could always follow along and paint on gloss card or whatever you're using to paint on. you're going to need black and white spray paint and some colours. You can choose whichever colours you want to use. Just make sure they are all the same make, as some makes of spray paint may react with each other. You're going to need something to make texture with, like magazine paper or a carrier grocery bag, or you could even use the packaging from your canvas, which that's what I'm going to be using for the tutorial. You're going to need something to sign your work with, like a palette knife or whatever you're using to sign your work with. You're going to need 2 lid stencils. Just make sure they are different sizes. You're going to need a mask and some gloves. You're going to need some spare pieces of card, a paintbrush, and also a straight edge. This can be a metal scraper like this, or a piece of cardboard, or a piece of wood, or anything that is straight. And you're also going to need something to make highlights with, something like a palette knife. And also, if you have any questions or want to know something, feel free to leave me a comment below and I'll be happy to help. So once again, thank you for stopping by and watching. I hope to see you all in the next spray paint art video. Have a great day, take care, and bye for now.